It is Championship Saturday in Arlington, and get ready for an electrifying showdown as two powerhouse teams battle for Big 12 supremacy in a game that promises non-stop action, unforgettable moments, and a ticket to college football's biggest stage. Let's go indeed. Welcome to Championship Saturday, and welcome here to our coverage of the Big 12 Championship, coming to you live here from Arlington, Texas, just outside Jerry World at AT&T Stadium is the Dr. Pepper 2024 Big 12 Championship featuring the Arizona State Sun Devils at 10-2 taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. A lot is on the line today. Not only do they get the Big 12 title, the winner, but the winner also gets, for the first time ever in an expanded playoff bracket, a guaranteed spot into the college football playoff. When and where that will be determined tomorrow. But as for today, it is all on the line for these two teams. Caleb Bushy here alongside Sam Valenti, coming to you here on the road from Arlington, just outside AT&T Stadium. Sam, can you believe it? We're here at the Big 12 Championship. I can't even predict that Arizona State was going to come to the Big 12 Championship at the start of the year, and now here we are.
Caleb, it is absolutely unbelievable. Who would have ever expected this? ASU won 3 games last year. They went 3-9, and this year they're in a position to win a Big 12 title in their first season in the conference. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's been a magical run, and we'll see if the magic can continue.
Yeah, the Coach Dilly magic, and we'll see if that is all. We'll get into all of that and more, but the biggest thing that nobody could have predicted, the media. At the start of the season, literally months before the season, the college football preseason media poll had ASU ranked dead last. Nobody had any hope for Arizona State at the start of the season. But as you can see from earlier this year, from time and time again, Coach Dillingham and this Sun Devils team have shown that just because they are the newcomer in the Big 12 doesn't mean they can be college football's best team.
Leading into the Big 12 championship matchup, Kenny Dillingham's Arizona State Sun Devils are ranked 15th, and Matt Campbell's Iowa State Cyclones are one spot behind at 16th. This is a stark difference from this year's preseason AP poll, where both teams were nowhere to be found in the top 25. In fact, Arizona State was picked last in the majority of preseason polls. Now both teams are at the top of the conference standing, sharing a 10-2 record. But the real question is, do preseason polls matter? Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark certainly doesn't think so.
A lot has been said about where Arizona State was picked before the season. And I've said this once before, but I want to restate it. The early season polls and the preseason polls really don't mean much anymore with the transfer portal. No one knows what they have until you're well into the season. Roster management has changed. And I think we're going to see that more and more, not just in football, but in some of the other sports as well. So, as we think about where people were picked preseason, let's not use that against anyone, because candidly, it means less now than ever before.
The college football landscape changed forever with the introduction of NIL deals and transfer portal rules that seems to be unpredictable to votes. New players on teams may develop a chemistry to rise through the season out of seemingly nowhere. But teams can also fall into the abyss, which makes it that much harder for voting media members.
Those first poll or two are kind of throwing darts, at a target and hoping to hit it, because you really don't know, as we saw with ASU this season, you really don't know what you're getting. And so those first couple of weeks you're kind of figuring it out. I just think as the weeks progress, you start to see all the really important things, how an offense looks, how a defense looks, how a team fares against a team with a lot of speed, all the minutia and the stuff you go into voting. The thing I liked about the CFP poll is you really don't start voting till like the end of, kind of in November, when a lot of things have already happened. So you have had an opportunity to look at games.
In this exciting and new uncertain era of college football, it's anyone's game at this point.
So as you can see, Arizona State was picked last at the start of the season, right before the first game, and now they have gone from worst to first. And of course, the man who did the story now joins us now, the one and only Tom Forbes, joined us here in the Arlington area to give us insight on the Iowa State Cyclones. We'll start with them first because, Tom, it seems like everyone's big weapon that they are putting all their betting on for the Cyclones seems to be their outstanding defense.
Hey, Caleb and Sam. The Iowa State Cyclones defense has been lights out this season, propelling them to a 10-2 record and a Big 12 championship matchup against the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now, line guard Dylan Barrett and tight end Ben Brahmer, they've been out the past few games, and here's what head coach Matt Campbell had to say about that.
I think Dylan for sure, probably will not be available for the game. Ben is a question mark still, kind of have been progressing through the last couple of weeks, was able to at least be back out on the practice field this week, but I would say it will be a game time decision.
Thanks, Tom. In 2020, Matt Campbell led the Iowa State Cyclones to a Big 12 championship game appearance right here in Arlington, but unfortunately for him, the Cyclones came up short against the Oklahoma Sooners. Now in 2024, Campbell is looking for redemption.
Before arriving in Ames, Matt Campbell spent 7 years coaching at Toledo. He rocketed his way up the ladder, going from run game coordinator to offensive coordinator before becoming the head coach. After 3 9-win seasons as head coach of the Rockets, Campbell became the man in charge for the Cyclones. Similar to Kenny Dillingham, he finished his first season at the helm with a 3-9 record in 2016. Iowa State turned things around quickly, going 8-5 the next 2 seasons, which set the tone for Campbell's successful tenure. This year, Campbell has led Iowa State to its first ever 10-win season, and became the winningest head coach in school history with a win against Houston. Matt Campbell is no stranger to Big 12 championship games. In 2020, he led Iowa State into a showdown against Oklahoma. Despite having future NFL talent like Brock Purdy and Breece Hall, the Cyclones fell to the Sooners 27-21. Now, Campbell has a shot at redemption.
That one obviously you sting just because, you felt like, you played pretty good football that day, but not good enough. And, I think it was another great lesson of, what'd you learn? How do you grow? And, if you ever get an opportunity to be back in that moment, what can you do best?
If there's one thing Campbell will look to lean on in this contest, it's definitely Iowa State's defense, which allows the least amount of points in the Big 12.
All right, so you now know about the Iowa State Cyclones, but now we turn our attention to Arizona State and their strategy to win this game. Now, we know, obviously, the top players, freshman quarterback Sam Leavitt, senior running back Cam Scatterbo, but unfortunately, some of their key players like Jordan Tyson have unfortunately been ruled out for this game due to an injury that occurred in the Territorial Cup last week. For all of that and more, let's go back to Tom Forbes to give us the inside scoop of what to expect from Coach Kenny Dillingham and his ASU squad. Tom?
Hey, Caleb, the Arizona State Sun Devils had 5 of their top players make massive contributions for the Sun Devils this season. And you could see it right there. Sam Leavitt, Cam Scatterbo, Jordan Tyson, who unfortunately got hurt right at the last game of the season at the Territorial Cup against the Arizona Wildcats. You also got guys like Kyson Brown and defender Keyshawn Elliott, who have all been making strides. You can see Sam Leavitt there. He's having his best season as a redshirt freshman, and we're going to see what's going to happen here at the Big 12 championship matchup, but he's shown and proved that he is ready for the big stage. Now, Kenny Dillingham had to say this throughout the whole week.
Jordan's going to be out indefinitely. Unfortunately, we're going to, I don't want to give a complete 3-4 month out timetable, but he's going to be out indefinitely. These guys are special. These guys We never focused on the outside noise. We never focused on everybody saying we're good now. We've never focused on when people said we were bad. We didn't let all that stuff blind us from what we believe we can accomplish. Just be the very best version of us. After the game, I said, congratulations, we won. This is awesome. Celebrate. Who are we going to play next? I don't even know if we're in the title game. I don't care. We're going to play another game. Let's be the best version of us when we play them.
You could just tell the amount of passion that Kenny Dillingham has for his Arizona State Sun Devils. And for one player in particular who's been catching national attention in headlines is star running back Cam Scadaboo, who's carried 247 times this year for almost 1,400 yards. Let's take a look at what Cam Scadaboo has done this season. Arizona State running back Cam Scadaboo became a star this season, helping the Sun Devils to a 10-2 record after suffering through a disappointing season last year. This season, he has 1,398 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns, up from last year of 783 yards for 9 touchdowns. And he's been on everyone's radar this year, including legendary Alabama coach Nick Saban.
But you know, that Cam Scadaboo guy, that's got to be my favorite player in college football, man. This guy is rugged, tough.
Yep.
I mean, I just love a great competitor, and he's all that.
But he doesn't play for Alabama, and in the end, he's a Sun Devil for life.
It means a lot, but I want to be this guy's favorite player in college football. You know, that's awesome. Great coach. You know, he's one of the best of all time, and it's awesome, you know, but I'm here. I'm in the present. I'm ready to win a Big 12 championship, and I'm here for this coach.
Cam Scadaboo has been lights out for the Sun Devils this year with 247 carries for almost 1,400 yards, and he's excited to make a huge impact against the Iowa State Cyclones in the Big 12 championship game. Caleb, back to you.
Tom, great stuff as always. Thank you so much. And Sam, you know, looking back, this is only Kenny Dillingham's second season. This could conclude his sophomore season with a Big 12 win. Just 2 years into this ASU program, he's had quite the remarkable story, don't you think?
Yeah, Caleb. Kenny has had such a remarkable journey to get to this point. He attended this school, and this is his dream job. He's always wanted to be here, and now he is on the precipice of leading this team to a Big 12 title.
November 22nd, 2022, a historic day in Arizona State football history. Kenny Dillingham returned home.
We need the valley behind us. We need the state behind us. We need butts in seats. We need everything that this valley has, all in. Because I am all in.
The Phoenix native had earned his dream job after climbing the college coaching ranks. Starting out as an offensive assistant at ASU, Dillingham then followed Mike Norvell to Memphis. Eventually becoming the offensive coordinator for the Tigers, he would go on to be the OC at Auburn, Florida State, and Oregon. With plenty of experience under his belt, Dillingham was ready to transform the program of his alma mater. While 2023 wasn't a storybook first season, the Sun Devils showed promise under Dillingham's leadership. And this season, well, you know the story.
The slant is thrown, intercepted! It's picked off by Javen Robinson!
Kenny Dillingham has resurrected Arizona State football, sparking a turnaround that's almost unreal. Back-to-back 3-win seasons have suddenly turned into a Big 12 championship game appearance. It's been a season to remember for Sun Devil fans, and if this year is any indication, the Kenny Dillingham era will be one to remember in Tempe.
Kenny Dillingham has had quite the journey, and now he's Big 12 Coach of the Year. Can you just believe that, Caleb?
Yeah, ASU really was the front runner when it comes to winning all the Big 12 awards. And I think the biggest thing about Dillingham that has surprised me is that a couple of years ago during his days at Memphis, he's always said he wants to be the next guy after Herm Edwards to be the official head coach for Arizona State. And a lot of people have speculated, oh, well, this guy may end up ditching after 2 or 3 years. This guy is an Arizona native. He is literally born and bred in the state of Arizona. He's not going anywhere, and he's already proven a lot of people wrong. This dude is the real deal. We have seen it time and time again this season. If there's one thing I have learned, I've said this repeatedly throughout this season as we got to the midway point of the season, that you never bet against Kenny Dillingham, especially in the big matchups like we are about to see today. So I guess that leads me as we close out our pregame show to talk about the last final score predictions. I'm going to make mine a little different here. I'll let you go first. Who's going to win this game? A lot of people have been favoring the Iowa State Cyclones to win this game since they are technically the underdog, but I always think Arizona State is the underdog after what they have been through this season. Your thoughts? Who's winning it all, and who is going not only to the college football playoff, but winning the top of the Big 12?
Caleb, Arizona State has proved the doubters wrong all season. So you know what? Give me the Sun Devils in this matchup, 28-21. Give me Arizona State as your Big 12 champions.
Well, I mean, I guess I can't really say I'm surprised and all that. But before I get into my predictions, let's bring in Tom Forbes one more time. Your last second final score predictions, Tom.
I think the game is going to be a lot closer than what most people realize, but I think the Sun Devils are going to come out ahead, but it's going to be pretty close. It's going to be 30-27 is what my prediction is for today's game.
Tom, thank you so much. And now I guess I get to my prediction. I was, like I said, earlier at the start of the season, I thought ASU will be lucky to even get 4 wins. Not only did they get 4 wins, they got 6 wins. They got 10 wins. Nobody could have predicted that. And being undefeated at home, another thing that nobody could have predicted. I've certainly learned my lesson to not be skeptical of Dillingham and what he is able to do for the Sun Devil program, especially coming after a rock bottom year last year with the bowl bans and all the violations. They've had an athletic director change, so much stuff that is happening behind the scenes. You would think that would deter recruits away from a school like that with all that kind of publicity. But Kenny Dillingham has beaten the odds, and there's one thing I've learned: you never bet against Coach Dilly. Made that mistake early in the season, certainly not going to make that now, and that is why I'm predicting ASU to win this game by 10. But we will, in terms of coverage, we will have all the coverage during the game from me, Sam, and Tom on social media, so check there. And of course, we will be live after the game to bring you post-game coverage. But that is going to do it for our pre-game show here from Arlington on this start of Championship Saturday. For our reporter, Tom Forbes, for Sam Valenti, I'm Caleb Bushy saying goodbye for now, and we will see you on the field after the game.